What is going on, everybody? G&T back at you. Listen, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man came out. Of course, I got to talk about it, We're going to talk about the first two episodes, what we thought of the whole thing so far, and what's to come. And apparently, already 2 more seasons have already been greenlit. So, let's talk about it. Like we said, Spider-Man came out. Of course, I got to talk about it. I got to be here to talk about it. Listen, you already know who this is. It's Kev, a.k.a. Spider Kev. And I got my friend Frank here. Listen, Frank. This is going to be fun. We're going to review the entire season. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I am down. I'm excited about this. We just reviewed the Skeleton Crew. Wasn't so enthusiastic about it. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be fantastic.
No point intended.
Yeah,
no point. Okay. Well, I think we should talk about the first episode first, obviously.
Absolutely.
So, Frank, talk to me. What did you think about the first episode?
All right, first episode, I went into it not really knowing where they were going with this. I am absolutely enjoying it. It feels and looks like an old comic, old cartoon to me. That's the vibe I'm feeling, and I'm really enjoying it. I know some people aren't, but I'm pretty sure 90% of people, 99.9 of people, are really enjoying it as well. Yeah. Going in first episode was fantastic. I was just blown away by the way they bring it in. It was an origin story, not heavy on the origin, but you got to see it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was definitely different. Definitely different from the stereotypical that we've known. Just Peter Parker going to a lab and getting bit by a spider.
Yeah,
definitely a different take. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I think you brought it up to me at work, you said, "Hey, it comes out this week." I was like, "Shit!" I forgot all about it because my brain has been scattered with everything happening, especially the things that are coming out this year that we're excited for. This one completely just went under my radar. And I was like, all right, Spider-Man, let me just watch this with open mind, like I have been, like with What If and series like that. I'm going to keep open mind. And I agree. It feels like, to me, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
To me.
Totally.
It definitely brings heart and what we love about Spider-Man as a character and what Stan Lee created. And that first episode, I mean, it was a decent episode. It was very entertaining. I wouldn't say it was boring. It wasn't dull or anything. It was for what was it, like a 30, not without the credits, I would say about 25.
25, yeah. I think
minutes.
I think its total is 30 some minutes, but it's 25 minutes.
Yeah. I mean 25 minutes. Me and Mike talked about it when we were doing a review for Creature Commandos, how short it felt.
Yeah.
For a show that is just 25 minutes long without the credits, it was pretty good pacing.
I didn't think it was short at all.
It didn't feel short. It didn't feel short to me.
It felt like I was watching an hour-long show. Yeah. In all honesty. I got to watch it with my son, and we sat there and enjoyed it, and it was it's done.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it's done because it was so fast. It was like, oh, I could have been sitting here watching it for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I could have watched a 2-hour movie of this. Like, it it, it felt great.
Yeah. Yeah. It like I said, different origin, a refreshing origin, very
Mhm.
different than we expect. I don't think we're expecting Doctor Strange and a symbiote from another universe just to
Yeah.
pop up, and just terrorize. What was it? Midtown High. Midtown High.
Midtown High. Yep.
Yeah. Just on his first day of school. It was very, very different. I appreciate that a lot.
Yep.
And I enjoyed the fight scene as well, definitely with Doctor Strange and how he used his spells and how he could slow down the symbiote, even though it looked like he was overpowering it a little bit from time to time.
Oh, and Doctor Strange was fantastic, especially because we got more of a original comic book
Mm-hmm.
look to Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
You had like the cheetah gloves and like
Mm-hmm.
he didn't look like MCU Doctor Strange trying to
Nope.
be too serious.
Mm-hmm.
No, this looked like the original comic, the original looks of Doctor Strange and the quirky outfit and the whole mystic and mysterious and like still spells not really working right
Yeah.
and all like quite interesting little things in there that they did.
He even said mid fight, I ain't using this spell ever again.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, that didn't work out. I'm gonna use it again.
Yeah. Oh man. And then just a little spire just so miraculously just comes down from the portal.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a very decent opening. It
And even
also
the him coming through the portal going, wait, we ain't supposed to be here. This
right,
isn't the universe we're supposed to be in.
right. So what
Like,
universe do you think he's in? Because
mm,
that symbiote to me, I don't know about you, but to me, the way it was built and the way he was built and everything and the design, it looked like Craven or Sabretooth as a symbiote.
I feel like it's more Craven because Craven's going to be a little bit smaller. If it was Sabretooth, he would be like bigger. I feel.
I feel like the symbiote was bigger. He was gigantic. If you compare him with Doctor Strange and definitely Peter.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I
But
mean,
he
it could
was
be
hunched
wrong.
over a lot. So maybe it is more of like Sabretooth.
Yeah, maybe in
He's
that
more in that like beast mode.
universe, symbiotes took over.
Maybe, yeah. What? So I already. All right, I got a question already.
Right.
That spider.
Yes.
Is that spider a symbiote spider?
I was the way
It's
it
the
was the
same
way it looked.
coloring. It's
Uh
the
huh.
and the way it comes through, and I was just like, hmm. Like, does that
Yeah.
mean that this Spider-Man was bit by a symbiote and given powers? Like, oh,
It's a cool thought, but I feel like it was gonna
yeah,
go. Oh no, it's just normal Spire. But when he before Peter faints, why was the camera so focused on the spider go into that book bag and going away?
that's true. Yeah,
I don't think we're done with that. So you might be onto something with that. Maybe
yeah.
there's something going on with that. Absolutely. Um, and also the going back to the refreshing type of feel with this, they are giving us different supporting cast.
Hmm.
I mean, you got Nico from the Runaways.
Yep.
You know, you got Pearl, who is more of who's actually a kind of newish character. I think she appeared in the 2019 comic. She does get powers.
Mm,
She's actually the first Filipino hero,
interesting.
and her powers is she could basically control water.
Hmm.
And in the
I wonder
show,
if they're going that route.
she says she's a swimmer, and in the comics, I think she is a swimmer as well. So that makes sense. And then they give us a Tombstone, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they kind of gave us like a different take on the typical high school stuff. We always thought the jocks were the bullies, but no, it's actually the scientists were the bullies, and the
Bullies.
jocks were actually the nice guys here.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's true.
yeah, but we get Tombstone. He's most likely going to be Tombstone in the future, whether that's in this series or what. But damn, he's just too nice. You're just like, God, you're too nice. Something's bad gonna happen to you. It's
Yeah.
Peter. It's Peter Parker. Um, we do get Harry. Peter does save Harry in the beginning as well.
Yep.
Trying to think who else was. I think that's it. But yeah, I appreciate the refreshing supporting cast. It's different.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying when I watch those episodes, it was different and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree. Yeah.
yeah,
I think the fact that it is not the atypical, we got MK and MJ and and we're making it the typical spider universe. Everybody has to be these specific people, and this is how they come together, and then, like, making it so exact. The fact that this is refreshing is fantastic. It's new. It's I feel like this is what's needed right now for the MCU, is not to give us something that is
in the MCU.
just regurgitate it, and give us something that is a little different, is a little new, that
Absolutely.
works,
Yes.
you know?
It's not even in the MCU. It's just in a different universe somewhere. That like this
Yeah.
it has MCU traits, like in the end of episode 1, same shots, same music from Civil War when Peter Parker walks into his apartment. You see Tony Stark there, but this time it's not Tony Stark. It's
Yeah.
Norman Osborn.
Yep.
So I definitely MCU. What's the word?
Adjacent.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a big word. But I mean, yeah, I enjoyed that first episode. Like I said, the supporting cast is great. I'm hoping that God these characters really blossom into what we all know. Like Nika, I hope she gets her stab and she becomes more of who she is in the comics. I'm excited to see what Pearl, if they're gonna make her into the character that's in the comics as well, with her power. See if what happens with Tombstone. I mean, of course, Green Goblin. Of course, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's going to be a whole interesting, where is this going and how is this going to go kind of thing. Because of episode 2, the ending of episode 2. So yeah.
What else happened in episode 1 before we go on to the second episode?
Yeah.
I think that's really it. I think it's
Yeah.
just mostly like Peter just, going to school, doing what he wants to do, but also trying to the specialist Spider-Man trying to balance Peter and Spider-Man, and he's
Oh, the only thing that was I feel like was strange is we didn't get anything of like him figuring out his powers. It was kind of like he got bit by a spider and then he's Spider-Man. We never really got like
I mean we kind of did. They gave us little snippets from the new intro.
Yeah.
But to me I feel like it's because people know the story.
Yeah.
People know what happens. They want to change it up, and that's what we've been saying so far about the series, how different and refreshing it is.
Refreshing is, yeah.
So that's probably a good reason why we didn't get that how he finds out he could web crawl and make his web shooters, and just
Yeah.
I'm glad they kind of like jumped that, but also gave us snippets in the intro, just to give us a little taste of what he was doing those past few months. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just goes on with the story. Yeah, if I felt like if they kept it to where he gets bit, he passes out, he wakes up, and then he figures out he has powers, I feel like that would be kind of like dragging or slowing down the series.
True. I just really wanted to see him do science things and figure out making web shooters. I always think that's one of the
I
cool
get it.
things. Like
I get
Toby, we didn't get that. Toby just he makes it internally.
it.
So weird.
Go web.
Everyone else has to make their web shooter.
But we got that already.
Yeah.
And especially like in video games, and like we already got that stuff. So
Yeah.
I understand their idea of that and what they want to do. So I get it. I get it 100%. Was the tombstone him going home? Was that the first episode or second episode?
Him going home. I think that was the second episode.
You know what? You probably
Because we don't get
Mhm.
much of Tombstone until they get partnered up as science partners.
Right.
And then we kind of get this look into Tombstone and get more.
Right. So yes, so they kind of gave us a point of view of his background, and it's different from Peter's because it looks like he's in the heart of Harlem. It's not great. People are not right there. I mean, it's cops are looking at everyone, especially him, just walking past, just very
Yep.
yeah. And I mean, it's just I'm glad they're giving us a moment to show us, like, yeah, this is a superhero show and everything, but it's the environment and the people around are just as messed up, just as just
Yep.
not great as people, and just giving us more of that human side and actually reality of where you come from, especially if it's on the wrong side of the city. And that's unfortunately that's where he's from, aside from Peter. So what did you think about that whole little scene there?
I thought it was fantastic. I think it was. I've heard some people say like the show's a little too woke, but I love that aspect of it. Spider-Man is in New York. If this is supposed to be current day New York, or like, this universe's version of our current day New York, then we need to see the city. We need to see people's lives, and we need to have this interaction of like, yeah, it's not a perfect city. It's not, people, these kids you are going to a school that's for special kids, smart kids. And he may be the jock, but like we need to see an environment of like his life as well, especially to counter it so much of like I think the thing to me that worked so amazingly is that Peter essentially was being the bully and thinking that like, oh, he's a jock. He's just there to like, he wants me as his partner just because he wants me to do the work for him.
Right.
And you got the total flip. And you
Yeah.
got like, oh no, he's actually smart. He cares about his education as much as playing football. His football is his road to his education,
Mm-hmm. He
and
likes
then
his
you get
options,
this.
he said.
Yeah, he likes his options, and you get to see this whole scene and scenario of him going home, which is totally different than everyone else.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
which makes it really interesting.
Yeah. It. I appreciate the way they did that, just because it shows people or kids, if kids are watching that, not everything is just so black and white.
Yep.
There's some people out there that are not great. The world is not perfect. It's unfortunate. I think I speak for you and me that we just want peace. We just
Yeah.
want peace, and equality and everything. It's just, even in comic books, it's not always a happy ending for everybody.
Yeah. And it needs to be spoken to.
Yes.
You know, if we never got that scene, do we lose anything from the character? Maybe not. But we gain so much more of knowing that, like, this one character who is becoming very close to our main character doesn't live in the same neighborhood, doesn't have the same background, doesn't have the same life experience
Mm-hmm.
that Peter does.
Yeah.
And we get to see it, not just be told it. I think so many times in TV shows today, they tell us these things because they don't have the time, they don't have the budget, the money for it, whatever. But they're just like, oh yeah, well, we got to tell them this real fast.
Mm.
To see it, to experience it, is a whole
And
nother thing.
and if you noticed, him just going home, there was no dialogue.
Yep.
It was just him, just sitting on the train, going home, and you got that little interaction with the mom or grandmom, and then him going home, and you could tell just completely just different.
Yep.
But like I said, I thought it was a good thing that they did that, and just to show that even in comics, not everything is so black and white that everyone thinks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that was fantastic.
we get the next scene where Peter is actually returning money to a pizza spot where he catches a
Yep.
robber, and she's crying because she realized that she messed up, and she's going through a tough time as well. She says she's
Yeah.
unemployed, she lost her job, she didn't know what came over her, but she felt bad and she apologized. And Peter looks at the owner and goes, "Well, it's up to you. Should we let this go? Should I let her go and we can forget about it, or we'll just turn her in?" And he let her go, and that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a powerful scene too. And there's just some people that realize what they do, and their what's the word? Their actions just wasn't the smartest, or they just realize that what they do is wrong. And whether it's something small like that or just something in their life that that it will change forever, and you realize you're not that person. And Spider-Man
Yes.
sees that in everybody, that he sees, you can change, or you're not this person. I know you are a good person inside. He sees the good in everybody. Now, fortunately enough, there are people who are just not good.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Peter's young. He's gonna realize that as the years go on as him as Spider-Man. But he understands that people like that deserve a second chance because they know they messed up.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was a interesting thing to see with Spider-Man. We usually think of Spider-Man like catching these really bad guys that are like breaking into banks and stuff like that, or the supervillains that arise, and I'm gonna web them up and I'm gonna leave them hanging there for the cops to come get them. which we got those scenes. But this was a scene where it was like, I caught her, I brought her back to the person she stole from, gave the money back, and now put the ball in the community's court of like, she actually realizes what she did wrong. You know, I'm now, Spider-Man is now encouraging the community to do better, not just fighting supervillains.
Yep. It's not just black and white.
Yeah. And he's that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Which is so key here.
Yes, that's the whole point of the show. And now we got those two emotional scenes out of the way. So Peter gets an invitation from Norman to come to his building, and was it for a scholarship? It was for a scholarship, wasn't it? Or
so it's for an internship.
Internship. Okay.
Yeah.
So
internship that he knows nothing about.
But he goes, even though he's 2 minutes early, but that's still somehow late.
Yeah, he should have been here 15
the Parker luck, as he says, the Parker luck. So he gets there, he meets 3 more scientists, and if I don't know if you noticed, the guard that he was talking to in the beginning, where he says, "Oh, you're late. You're supposed to be here 50 minutes ago." That's actually the character from the Slinger comic book line.
Oh.
He's a mutant. I forget his name. Oh, where's Mike when I need him?
Right. I don't know this one now.
Starts with an R, I think. But anyways, yeah, he's a mutant, and in the comics, in Slingers, he's in that. I thought that was a little cool little Easter egg there. And then we meet the 3 scientists. One of them is actually going to be a Hulk. One of them is going to be a Hulk, and it's actually the son of the doctor that we meet, Cho, in Age of Ultron.
Okay.
The one that's like, will
Yeah.
Thor be there? The one that helps Ultron make Vision.
Yes.
Yeah, it's her son, who's going to become Hulk in the comics, which is interesting. Yeah. Then you got 2 other characters, one from Wakanda, and then another the other scientist, I forget her name too. She's in the comics as well. She kind of,
I didn't recognize her, but she felt so familiar for some reason.
She kind of has Taskmaster's power, where she can look at someone's, like, I guess, moveset, and she learns it like that.
Yeah.
She's kind of like that, but she's very smart as well. So you beat them, and then Peter's the last one to get picked, and of course, it's by Connors.
Yep.
It's Connors, female version of Connors.
Yep.
Now she already has her right arm amputated, so it looks like we're going to get a Lizard storyline in the future, which I'm excited about.
Eventually, yeah.
What else happens? Then we get the fight scene in the burning building. Spider-Man loves his burning buildings, bro. He just loves his burning buildings.
He can't help himself. He watches the news and has to go help.
Yeah. Yeah. He loves the news. Like he told the scientists, he loves the news. So
and it's only 2 blocks away.
Yeah. I really love that fight scene. I really did. It was very.
The whole sequence was fantastic.
Yes. The way, like we said at work, how he used his surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
He's learning how to use his surroundings in a fight when It's not looking pretty, so he has to find a way to give him the upper hand. And he did in the pet store. In the pet store. You know, he had to hold a corky, and he had to save the fishies.
Yep. That turkey almost became a hot dog.
Yeah, he made that joke too.
Such a bad joke, but I loved it.
That's the dad in you. That's the dad in you. You probably laughed at that when you heard it for the first time.
Oh, I totally did.
Oh yeah,
I totally did. And then when he puts the hamster down and the snake jumps up, like it's just like, oh, this is just yep, nope, not safe.
He's like, you're safe. Oh no, you're not. Yeah, I love the detail of that fight because it reminded me of Creature Commandos in the first episode or second episode where Flag was fighting the Doctor, and the way the Doctor, there was a pot on the stove with water, and he used it to boil it up so hot where it burned the Flag's skin. Like that type of of detail I love in fight scenes, especially in animation like that where I don't care what it says. I love this animation. I love. You could call me a Homer, a Spider-Man lover, all you want. I really enjoyed this animation. I like it a lot. I do.
I do too. I am definitely digging it. It has to me, like I said, it has a very old school comic book, old school cartoon vibe to it and feel.
Yes.
You know, it looks like I'm watching a comic book.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway. So what else happened? So the high school team won the football game. I love how Tombstone actually. I love how we're just calling him Tombstone because he knows he's gonna be Tombstone.
Like he's gonna be Tombstone.
Yeah. I really like how he is trying to put Peter. He's trying to make Peter into the group. You know?
Yeah.
Full of
that whole scene was such a mind flip because I'm like, oh, here we go. This is gonna be like you got Tombstone. You're gonna give. I thought what was gonna happen was Tombstone was going to be divided between like new friend Peter because he confided in him that he likes science and the jocks. No, they just completely were like, nope, this is like a ritual for luck. You know, you're cool. Like, rub some luck on it.
Yeah, he told him, he's like, yeah, I got an internship after school. He's like, really? Man, you need to rub this trophy. You need it more than I do. Like that's great. I love that. I love that very much. And what else happened? Oh, and then the big ending. Norman sends Peter to his office. Pete, listen, I know you're new to the superhero gang and everything, but when you are about to change to your costume, look around and see if there's any cameras.
Make sure there's no damn cameras.
It's a stairwell. It's a stairwell. Of course, there's going to be cameras. Come on, Pete.
You're in a multi-billion-dollar facility that's pumping out tons of stuff. And you're already warned that he does kind of shady things.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And if Norman finds out his secret identity, he is Spider-Man. And that's how the episode ends.
I am eagerly awaiting the result of that. Like, what is that going to mean? I feel like it is, knowing everything we know of Spider-Man and the stories that always come out of Spider-Man, that's usually a late game reveal.
Yeah.
That like Oswald finds out like by happenstance.
Osborn.
You
said Oswald.
Osborn. Osborn finds out that it is Spidey. Yeah. And that sets off a chain reaction of events but we're not so far deep into this story that like we have the Green Goblin and all of this. Like there has to be something more that happens that triggers this now.
I feel like he's probably going to help him.
Probably.
I feel like he's going to keep his identity a secret for now, and he's going to help him. Because I feel like Norman's going to look at it and go, if I can make him a new suit, which he probably will, or give him the tools that he needs to make a new suit, he could be our mascot. And we can make profit out of this. I feel like that's probably what Norman's thinking. That's my opinion.
We also got the shot of the logo on Pyro's equipment, right? Is that his name, Pyro?
No, that's the mutant.
I know Pyro is a mutant, but I wasn't sure if they were calling him Pyro too.
I don't think he had a real name.
Yeah.
But
like we saw that image of like the logo on it.
Yeah.
Now the second that I saw it, I was quickly, my brain was going into every single logo at Oscorp. I am going to clock and see if it's similar. They are not.
Yeah, I think it's Roxxon. Is it Roxxon?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the story?
But you don't see anything that's like even similar that it's like, oh, no, this is like part of the parent group kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like hidden in plain sight kind of thing. So like that's going to be the interesting part to see. And to see if, because we know Oscorp actually funds or creates a lot of the tech that the Spider-Man villains use from the Kingpin mastermind.
I feel like there's a villain that kind of like burns down buildings to make I forget what I'm blanking on it. I feel like there's a villain that does this type of stuff.
He's not a big one in Spider-Man.
No, he's not a huge.
No.
But I think he's big enough to be
what, Sinister Six, I believe they're called.
I don't think he was part of Sinister Six either.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think he'll be big enough to be his first big villain.
I don't know if he's the first big villain. I think he's just a.
You think it's Norman?
I don't think Norman's the big villain.
Okay.
I think there's going to be someone or something else. Some other organization that will be the big villain. I think Norman is going to be the ally at first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I think he's going to be an ally at first. I don't think we're going to get a Doc Croc story in this season.
No.
Just that's just the way I feel about it. I feel like, yeah, you got the like little foreshadowing because you did see her come in with the armory missing. Her talking about the project they're working on. That's just like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing. But it felt like it was put on.
Yeah, it's a seed to plant in the future. I don't think they're going to do all that at once.
Yeah.
Because how many episodes we got? Is it 10?
2 this week, 3 next week, 3 10. The following, and then 2 the end. Yeah, 10.
10. Yeah, there's too much. That would be too much for a 10 episode season.
Yeah, way too much.
Yeah, so we'll see, because we got to deal with, like you said, the Spider. I think they're gonna try a little story with that, and then you got the Norman stuff. You got whoever the Pyro guy came from, and then you have the Lizard, obviously, that you could get in the future. Tombstone. There's just you could do stuff with Nico too. Like I said, I want Nico to get her staff. I want her to get her staff. I want to get her staff. I mean, we could There is there's more characters that are going to pop up, I heard, in this show. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we did see
And I mean,
a certain
all of that
blind hero.
all of that could be second season setup.
Yeah.
You know, you set up the relationships, you set up the invested in the investment into the characters for the viewers, but also the investment for Peter to be invested in these characters. And then season 2 could flip the script, and now you're dealing with all of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Where this season could be less personal.
Yeah, because like I said, we got a certain blind superhero coming in this season as well.
Is he coming in the season?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know when. I don't know why, but he's going to be in it.
See, that just tells me that just makes me feel like the big bad is going to be Kingpin or Kingpin's organization.
I don't. Maybe they'll plant the seed, but I don't think he's the big bad. If so, this is the year of Daredevil.
Yeah, totally. But maybe it's like it's the Kingpin organization. Like he's not going to go directly up against Kingpin.
Yeah.
But maybe he's going up against cronies. And that's kind of what it's pointing to.
Right.
You know. And that's where we may have the pulling at threads here of Norman, where it's like, oh, you're Spider-Man. I've been supplying things.
Mm.
And it kind of sets up that, like, does he help him to make up for the bad things that his tech is doing? Or does he eventually flip?
I scratch your back and you scratch mine.
It's mine. Yeah. Until something goes horribly wrong and then pushes him over the edge.
We'll see.
You know.
We shall see how it goes. But overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed these 2 episodes. I can't wait to see what we have in store. Like I said, it just feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. I'm waking up, getting my cereal, breakfast, whatever, putting the TV on, and that's what comes on. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I really am.
Yeah. These first 2 episodes have been absolutely fun.
Yeah.
I've loved the feel of every moment of it. They just really, it's a refreshing show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I can sit down like half hour felt like it was way longer.
Yeah.
But didn't feel like it dragged way longer.
Mm-mm.
Pacing
was very good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Very, very, very good. But look, let us know what you guys think. Seriously, we want to hear from you guys a lot more. Did you guys enjoy this season or not season? I know you're going to enjoy the season. But did you enjoy these 2 episodes? Let us know. Comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys already know the deal. And we also have Instagram, Geeks at the Nerd Table podcast. Just chat. One of us will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely them. I'm terrible at texting sometimes. But look, thank you guys so much for watching. Next week can't come soon enough, man. I need to watch these next 3 episodes, bro. I really do. I really just can't wait. Frank, got anything to say before we wrap it up?
Just that we have a lot of great material that's going to be coming out this year, and hit us up. We absolutely do want to hear from you, and we want your input. We love talking to each other because we even talk to each other at work about this stuff. But we want to actually include you guys as part of this conversation, not just us. We can do this all day anyways. But we want to hear what you guys have to say and how you're feeling about it. And we can talk and discuss So
Absolutely.
definitely hit those comments and be part of our conversation.
Absolutely. Look, I don't know when yet, but I'm going to start streaming again. I don't know when yet. It's coming. I got a new mic. Hopefully it's good.
Sounds good from me. It sounds great to me.
Hey now. Keep it to yourself now. All right. Wait till we get off the air. Anyway, so listen, Marvel Rivals is taking over the gaming world right now. I'm going to start streaming that. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. We got more stuff behind the scenes that are coming very, very soon. But let's enjoy this season. Let's enjoy this series. Come to the table. Pull that chair up to the table. Let's talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's gonna be a fun journey. But listen, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. What did Stanley say? Oh God, I'm gonna botch this. Oh no. I'll get it in the next episode. I promise. I'll get it in the next episode.
Did we get a Stan Lee
no
cameo or no?
No.
I swear there was a character on the bus that looked very similar.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We'll talk more. We'll talk more. I know. All right, B. Listen, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we'll see you next time.